What is going on, my beautiful people, man? I hope you guys are having an amazing one. In this video, I want to talk with you about how you have a great glory inside of you. You have the ability and the passion to be able to go out there and unleash something great into the world. And until you start to tap into that, you will not be able to break the chains on the stuff that is holding you down. But how do you really tap into that? It's about knowing who you are and who you are in God and who God is. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm currently reading this book called The Best Possible Life by Jim Murphy. He's the same guy that wrote a book called Inner Excellence, which was read by a player on the Philadelphia Eagles named A.J. Brown. He was reading it on the sideline. And it's just such an amazing book that I dove into. It really just talks about being able to lead from the heart and how not fearing about an outcome, being able to unleash yourself in that way, leading from a passionate place is how you get your best performance, your best results. And this is the same thing that you have inside of you and you have the ability to tap into. Firstly, you might feel like right now you don't have nothing that's like passionate enough about, but that's the beauty, is that as you start to go on your path, God is going to lead you down that path to that thing that is going to unleash an ultimate passion within you that helps you break chains off of yourself, but also helps you tap into the glory of God that He has put inside of you, and you're going to be so absolutely flabbergasted by how beautiful it is. And in the book, he basically talks about how if you can tap into that glory, it's like this purpose and this thing that is just meant for you. I've also heard about people how they talk about, and it's a great way that you probably have seen this in your life too, that everything is happening for you, and as you slowly go about your life, you start to see that the challenges and the struggles that you start to have are perfectly meant for you at the moment. Oi, hold on, there's something on my freaking, like an ant biting me or something, but they're perfectly meant for you at that exact moment that you are in your life, so that you can handle them and continue to grow. And once you start to tap into that, it's like realizing that you're on that journey that God is sending you on, and you start looking forward to these struggles. There's a movie about Jesus called The Passion of the Christ, and in church recently I heard that passion is actually another word for struggle. I think it's in Greek. It's another word for struggle. So the Passion of the Christ is God, Jesus, coming down and willing to struggle in the Garden of Gethsemane, willing to struggle and be put on the cross because He is passionate about us and He loves us. You have the potential to do that towards a greater good in the world for something that you really care about and you really want to go and give it your all. That is the beauty of it. With these videos, that's what I'm starting to tap into. I'm starting to tap into the glory that God has put within me. At first, I did not expect to be able to make these videos as good as I am right now. And I'm not even saying that I'm amazing, but I'm saying that I'm doing so much better than I know I was at the beginning. But not only that, the amount of passion that I am tapping into is within every single one of us. Because I've started to kind of like, at first it's like, okay, do I have enough passion for this? Is this actually going to be the thing? But the more that I'm just tapping into, okay, how can I wrap this in God? How can I put God first? What I'm basically doing with these videos is growing closer to God by getting better at communication. That's what I've realized. In the book, he talks about how the best path that you can go on is a consistent growth in God and in your character in God. It's consistently growing stronger in that faith, in that joy, in that love, in that peace. And that's the best possible life that you can live, because just like it talks about, Jesus says that His yoke is easy. My mother told me about this. Yoke in Scripture, what it actually means is it's not yoke like an egg. It's basically, yoke is something that they would put on animals. It would basically wrap around the animal's neck and they would have to carry it around. And it was something that was heavy, but they had to carry it. And when Jesus says that His yoke is easy, what He's basically saying is that His yoke, His journey that He's going to put you on, is perfectly meant for you. And the best possible life that we can live is a journey that is meant for us specifically. It's struggles that are perfectly meant for us that allow us to grow in our character. The testing of our faith produces perseverance and builds character. That's Scripture. And once you realize, okay, if I can tap into what God is sending me on, that's what he talks about in the book. The more that you're just like, okay, Jesus, I know that you have a perfect plan for me. I am surrendering to your will. The more that you can be like, okay, I have this struggle, but I know it's making me better. I know it's growing me overall. It's growing me for the better. That is the best possible life, because then you start feeling passionate about going towards those struggles, because you know that the glory of what it puts you and creates you into is better than the fear of staying comfortable. That is the power. That's the power. For me with this communication, I know that the more that I tap into and go into these uncomfortable spots where in the past I was like, introverted, and sometimes I would be shy, sometimes I would be anxious about having to go into certain places. the more that I tap into that and go into that is trusting Jesus, is growing my presence in Jesus, and it's growing my joy around people, but then also in my everyday life. The more uncomfortable that I've gotten, the more actual glory that I've seen within myself, the more that I've tapped into the presence of God. Now that is available to every single one of us. All you have to do is start to ask God, what is that thing for you? What is the yoke that he wants you to carry? It's a greater good for the greater benefit of humanity. It's something that wakes up humanity. Now, you can do this in many different paths. Like, you could literally do this as an athlete. If you strive as an athlete to be your best, push yourself to your best so that you can share in the glory of God, continue to pronounce Jesus, that's a very, very, very humbling and growth-oriented place that you can grow. It helps you grow in God, and it helps you grow as an athlete. That's what we're trying to do as best we possibly can. But it's so beautiful because now every day, once you start to do this, becomes a journey of getting closer to God, but it also allows you to get your best results possible because it pushes you to be your best. And that's what we all want to do. So the best possible life is one that is both growing in God and growing in your craft. I love you guys very much, man. I hope you guys are doing freaking amazing today. Let me know where you currently are with this down in the comments below. Talk to you on the next video. Peace.